Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be reacting to the Unseen, the secret game that nobody got to watch because it wasn't on broadcast or even available to spectate. So, big thanks to OU, I believe, who posted this, or, well, the team, Toxic Lotus, posted this on the Chinese version of YouTube, which is, I think, Bolly BB, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, but thanks to them, because else we wouldn't have got to see this banger of a game. So don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it already. But this was on paper the best match, and I can't believe that they didn't show it on broadcast. It was by far on paper the best match they could have done for day one. I don't want to hear it, and yeah, it has potential. I've not watched it, of course. I'm going to be watching it first live with you guys. So let's take a look at the draft then. So Meg is, as a sign of a good draft, by the way, whenever I see a team go Meg, especially in Hot Zone, feels like they know ball, because it's just good into pretty much everything. So OU, as I say that, misses the hypercharge, which is a bit unfortunate, but the reason why Meg's good, just good for sustain, just good at dealing a bunch of damage, and good survivability against brawlers like hypercharge brawlers like Kaze, etc. But IC is doing such a good job on the Kaze nearly gets a double super off there. So it's Toxic Lotus starting off things pretty good so far, but now Rival are starting to get a bit of control. So the Frank is there to counter the Hank primarily, but Frank is really good on open business. It's like the only good map for Frank right now in the meta, because he just has a bunch of health, and if you can sit behind the walls, it's really hard to pinch out a Frank, right? But right now, with no control, it's looking pretty hard for a Frank to really do much without super as well. So it's kind of down to OU here for the only real damage dealer into this. Memeshi's doing really good job on the B so far. That's going to be another kill, and with Rival with ultimate control, I don't see a way that they get back from this. I think the Toxic Lotus composition is all kind of about getting control once, and then that's really it. So Engine breaks a wall there, doesn't get any value into anyone, and yeah, Toxic Lotus, a weak Engine, gets the kill onto Kaze pretty much there, but yeah, there's nothing that Toxic Lotus can really do now. So Rival win the first game of that set right here, but yeah, like I was saying, the reason why this game is so hyped was because people are excited for Toxic Lotus. They've gained a lot of fans with their performance in Brawl Cup, which was fair enough. I've always been a big fan of Toxic Lotus. There's a couple of reasons why, particularly OU. OU is a veteran player, and I've known him for years, absolute years, and I've always been a big fan of his. Well, good friend. I don't want to say fan, because we're a fan of each other at this point. He gave me like a teddy bear present when he played for BC Gaming, like I think 3 years ago now, which is, I just love that gesture, absolutely love it. But he was also on Nova, which I was a part of years ago, so yeah, so that's kind of a lore behind it. And Toxic Lotus's coach analyst, I think he's, I don't know, I think he's the coach, but I think he's probably the analyst as well. Star Dragon, he's been again a good friend of mine and in my club for many years, so I've got that bias there. And of course, Tok and Engine, just their level at Brawl Cup was insane. And then going on to Rival Esports. So Rival Esports, we got Terry, who was the GOAT Fang. But I just feel like Terry is such an underrated player. We already saw with yesterday's games, if you watched it on stream, he did play up against NXT. And you just saw, mechanically, Terry's very gifted. He's very good at the game. And got to give him props. IC as well. He didn't have a good year last year, but he was tipped to be one of the kind of newcoming players. But that was that was like 3 years ago. I remember someone told me, Disneyland Paris, that IC was one of the people to watch. So yeah, he's definitely shown that this year. And then Memeshi, world champion. You know about Memeshi, guys. Surely you know right now. It was like the 4th of that world champion roster, and he's never really shunned too much on his own, but he is a very good player. I've played against him myself. I know how good he is. So yeah, this game is about nearly done here. Hypercharge coming from Engine. Terry's going to get pretty weak as well, so it's actually good for Toxic Lotus. They're going to get all the control with B being pretty weak. IC's going to go in here on OU's, get a lot of damage on the Meg and the Hypercharge Fanstorm, which isn't really going to do too much. Engine's going to get down from the Hank super. Terry's popping off right now. OU just pops Hypercharge super in time. Can he clutch in a 1 versus 3? He's getting so much percentage. That might be enough for his team to get onto the zone here. 1%, that's all that's in it. And Rival just get the kill onto Tok in the end. That would have been so clutch. Imagine if OU like did that. But then Terry made the plays to make that happen. So there's going to be no breaks here. We're just going to go straight into every single game, which we love to see. There's, of course, no draft here because it was four games yesterday were played behind backstage. And the reason behind why they couldn't show this, guys, if you were unaware, was that there's like this spectator bug that's going on essentially all year in the BSC production. What would happen is whoever it is, there's a couple of people probably that are like DDoSing. They're sending a bunch of like, I don't know, they're just sending loads of bots to spectate one of the games that we're playing, and it will just crash the spectate server. It won't crash the actual server, but it just means that no one could spectate it. It was so bugged. So what they've done, which is actually pretty good heads up from them, is that they've just disabled spectating on the accounts of the players that are going to play in these tournaments. So it's a good quick fix. Of course, it's not a good fix for us, because even if they didn't show it on broadcast, there would have been many people in the community that wanted to watch a game like this and could have just watched it through spectate like normal in game. But of course that's disabled, so that's why we couldn't showcase it. I really wanted to showcase it on my stream, so hopefully they fix that going into next year. Hopefully they will. But it's just more of a quick fix, right? Okay, so in terms of drafting, we're going with the Finks mid. Again, Toxic Lotus, I'm really liking their draft. Their draft reminds me very much of an EU type of draft, where like the Finks mid, Finks is actually like a good hybrid mid on Gem Grab, funny enough. It's like good on Gem Fort, good on this map. Reason being, he's a good counter to Kaze because of the star power, and just overall, like he has good health, decent enough damage, and a gadget to escape. So he's just like a decent mid overall. Then Cordelia is going to be a good shutdown to both Kaze and Ollie. Funny enough, it's not like absolutely unwinnable for Ollie and Kaze, but Cordelia is good enough. And then you have a Lily here. The problem with Lily in this composition is that against an Ollie, most of the time it's alright going Lily into Ollie, but Ollie has the All Eyes on Me gadget. So like if you super in, yeah, you might be able to get like one hit. Ollie will pop gadget, and then normally there's a teammate close to the Ollie, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But as you can see, literally here, like look at that, it just completely destabilizes any assassin. Like Ollie's so underrated for that reason, and that's going to be the first game going towards Rival. Okay, they're looking pretty good right now. I'm going to take a quick tea break, guys. It's dribbling down there. That's that good stuff. Good cup of tea, you know what I mean, mate? Bloody hell, crikey. Right. Kaze is going to sneak in Engine. Funny enough, I mean, Jump is good, right? But I think in this matchup, maybe he's just gone Jump to escape from the Ollie hypercharge. I mean, Jump's fine. But I think if you're going to go Mute, I think this would be a time to go the Mute. I'm always an advocate for Jump, by the way, guys. Literally all the time. Outside of like a bushy map, and then you can go Mute. I've just always liked Jump. You're just guaranteed to get like pressure, value, whatever. So again here, so Terry's playing it really good. Defensive Ollie, like this is the strategy you guys need to go. I can't, there's been so many times on my stream. Like look at this. Look, like it's just that Ollie in a 1v1 against Lily basically there, and the Lily just can't get a kill. So it's just how broken Ollie is in the meta. I think it's took a little bit longer for people to realize. Everyone freaked out about the hypercharge, and then there was that brief period where everyone was like, okay, you can counter it. And then everyone realized, well, okay, actually, Ollie, it's kind of a do-it-all brawler where you can either go Jump gadget just to make more plays. Most people use All Eyes on Me, though. It's by far the better gadget, and you'll probably see in this gameplay. So, Tok uses Hypercharge that doesn't get any value, but hard to get really value into a Charlie super and into an Ollie. So, he's going to pop gadget in the right time. Really good timing from Tok here. And Toxic Lotus are actually looking half decent. Icy's going to have hypercharge here. He's going to sneak in and kill the Cordelius. Again, Lily's just really struggling to find value. Terry's just on him like a rash. And Icy's going to go in on OU. Not going to get the value that he wants. Engine's going to get the hypercharge super, I believe, and get the kill. But Terry's might be able to clean up. Okay, really good from Toxic Lotus there in the end. I think IC was just taking a little bit long to really get going. Does get the kill onto Cord and still might find a chance. Okay, Tok has to use gadget here, so that's a bit of utility down, but it's only 2 seconds left. I don't really see a way that Rival win this round. Okay, so much better from Toxic Lotus. Yeah, I think that was much better. I think they just had more explosive moments there. I think that's all it comes down to in Gem Grab. If you've been watching, like, just look at the brawlers that you see in Gem Grab. It's just broken hypercharge brawlers. It's tanks. It's tank counters. You probably heard me say it a bunch of times, so I don't want to keep waffling, but it's just how the Gem Grab meta is. So I see nearly catches OU off guard there, but you can see Tok's going to go invisible. I think Tok maybe realizes now he just needs to go in no matter what. He's playing it well, but he knows every single time, it's probably with Ollie because of the cooldown of the gadget. I think that gadget actually needs to be nerfed. I think that's one thing I need to bring up because 15 seconds is kind of ridiculous. because by the time like you've got a chance to go in again, he's just got another gadget that can counter out so many different things. But Tok's playing it so well. But next time, definitely, surely, Ollie has his gadget available. Tok's gonna get the hypercharge in. He's playing such a better lily this game. He's got a gadget in as well, but Charlie has super, and Tok has no super himself here. So this is actually much better control here from Rival. Terry's going to be a lot more aggressive this time around. He's actually going to get the super on and a gadget onto OU, but it doesn't get the kill because Finks has a lot of health, right? Fanstorm going to come down on OU and the invisibility as well inside of that. And that's probably going to be the kill from IC, and it is the hypercharge as well coming out. And this is why Kaze is so broken. It's not even like it's a great play, but it's like, I'm just bored of seeing these plays with hypercharged brawlers now. It's just so many. Like, you're thinking, oh, why don't you ban Kaze? Well, you've got to ban Kit. You've got to ban all of these different brawlers. And yeah, Rival, turn it around. I mean, that was a good play. He played Kaze really well. I think the invisibility is another thing people don't talk about. Invisibility on a brawler is so broken, especially on a brawler that can pop it like every 12 to 15 seconds, I would say. Yeah, you've got to... And then now we see Toxic Lotus go Kaze now. So let's take a look at the draft. So Super Peach plays kind of similar to Pinball Dreams, except for just there is way more walls. So tanks are even more prevalent here. Pinball Dreams, you know, there's tanks, but you can't just straight out go tanks. Hank is very good here, as you see, but the problem here is that they've gone Griff and they open up the map when they have Hank on the team, which I'm like, okay. But Trunk is actually a decent brawler, and you can see a good pinch from everybody here. And I really like Toxic Lotus draft because they've got the Otis in the middle. Otis, one of the best brawlers in Brawl and Gem Grab right now. Griff, I don't really like Griff. I've always been a Griff hater, but I just don't really see Griff as being that impactful. I think his hypercharge is good, but not broken as people make out. I think pros a lot of the time can keep the distance, but there goes an explosive super from OU. The good thing about Trunk is, of course, his ability to dash, but it's also his gadget. His gadget can be so clutch in 1 versus 1s, and that's where you see Trunk make the plays. But it's also his hypercharge. His hypercharge is really good and super fast charging. So Trunk's not anything broken, by the way. We've seen him good in Gem Grab and Brawl Ball, and that's probably his limit. Maybe Hot Zone he can be usable as well. Alright, so now we see some a bit of fight back from Rival, just back and forth really here, but the more the map opens up, it's not even that bad for Toxic Lotus, but Tok does get picked apart here. Terry gets the slow as well onto Engine. By the way, Hank's slow is the better gadget to use. I think that's a bit of a misplay from Rival, and they missed a shot in the end, and Tok gets the ball clear pretty much. Yeah, that was a bit messy from Rival, a bit messy. Engine's going to get 1 kill there and survive as well. Hypercharge coming down on IC. Toxic Lotus sense blood. They smell it. Actually, not sense it. They smell it. And they get the first round. So in a moment like that, when you make a mistake, you kind of just feel the momentum shift. If you know, you know. In ranked or whatever, you just know. Like, you make a mistake in a game, you're like, okay, the opponents, they're going to be sweating. They're going to be, they're going to be a bit flustered. So you need to go quickly. So OU's going to pop gadget there, but not actually timed correctly here. So that was pretty well played from Terry, but Trunk gets the kill there. So Trunk's not even bad into Hank because with a Trunk, you don't want to face brawlers that can like cancel, well, not even cancel you out, just typical like Jackie counters, right? Big damage supers. But with Trunk, you've got a gadget that can help you, and especially against the Hank. Hank deals the most damage from a single shot, I think, out of every brawler in the game. So if Trunk can pop gadget to literally tank all of that shot, you're going to win, right? That's just as plain as simple. So here, OU's trying to get some pressure, but they're just kind of leaving him. Which is just, you know, with his limited range, you can't really get into the fight in this moment. Terry's going to get pinched down a little bit, but he's already got a hypercharge, so some good pressure. The pinch is coming down onto OU finally. I think with Trunk, the main thing is that he's going to struggle to get his super here, especially with all the map opened up. But once he does get his super, he needs to be making plays and not wasting it whatsoever. So I think he's going to wait here for his third teammate to spawn in. He's going to super up the map to try and get some pressure, but he's going to get pinched here. And now it's 3 versus 1. Can Tok defend this against 3 players? He is an Otis, so there is a chance. Hypercharge as well coming down, and he does get the stun, and then Engine cleans up. Otis is so good in this meta, guys. And that's going to be a kill from Toxic Lotus. So Rival kind of went all in there. They thought they could score, but Otis on defense. I can't remember who I seen it with. I think it was the first, I think it was BC Gaming. I can't remember. It was the first game of LCQ yesterday. Otis on defense and Brawl was absolutely insane. And it happened again. It happened again here. So another hypercharge here. I just think the Griff just really isn't doing too much. You think a Griff against like Kaze and Trunk, you'd think he'd be getting like hypercharge and like more supers by now, but just kind of tickling everyone. He's not really dealing consistent damage. It's got to the point where I'd probably even prefer Clancy over Griff in a tank counter sense. I know they're going for the wall break, but I don't think their composition is like, it's not a good synergy for wall break. You need like a B or at least a good range brawler with high damage, but I got a Jae Young instead, and of course like the Hank isn't actually that good when it's opened up, so hypercharge comes down, but it's not enough even if he gets another super. So Toxic Lotus take that set home. A few mistakes though from Rival. I think that has gave Toxic Lotus the set win in the end, but I don't think, like, I think the level of both teams are pretty much equal. They're pretty much equal. Rival just about edged it in terms of game-changing moments in the first two sets. Okay, let's take a look at this one right here. So we've got Bounty, Layer Cake. We see Mr. P, Gene, and Carl. And straight away, I'm thinking, okay, Hank and Kaze. Gene, Carl, Mr. P doesn't scream damage to me whatsoever. So in terms of, like, game-changing plays, when a Kaze supers in, when a Hank pushes forward, who is really dealing all the damage? I think the damage will only come from Carl's super. That's literally about it. So I think it's down to Engine whether he can pop off here. And the Meeple Hank strategy is so dirty. Meeple is a bit underrated. He's going to get a bit countered by the Mr. P. So I see why Mr. P was drafted. But Hank Meeple synergy is just so good, especially if you're good at hitting those gadgets. So Toxic Lotus here with a 5-0 start. So this gives a bit of license for Engine to make some plays here. So he's going to try and sneak in down this right-hand side. And yeah, this is the problem with Kaze again, guys, is that you just never know. You never know. This is why you should just ban her out at this point. Like Kit and Kaze, just two brawlers that have just spamming visibility. And it's just not fun. It is not fun to be constantly, you know, having to worry about where Kaze is on the map. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Even the pros struggle. Even the pros struggle. Like, okay, I thought Engine was going to go in here. But here comes a super from IC. He's trying to make something happen, but I just don't really see how they make a play here. I think all the plays are going to have to come down to, at least with Gene, he can pretty easily pull anyone outside of the Kaze. So it's down to Gene to really be aggressive and try and land these pulls. Outside of that, it's like, ugh. And especially with Meeple with the gadget and super, I just feel like they're going to punish the enemy team too much. So doesn't miss the super again, the gadget there again, OU. And they're starting to get pinched back. But they need a full team up here. Engine's going to go in onto the Gene. Does actually survive. So he's going to leave his teammates to dry, but it doesn't really matter as long as he survives here. Very messy ending. And that was actually pretty close from Engine, but I think that was good heads up play. Tried to get the Gene. He knew he wasn't going to get the kills, so he just continued up the map. That was fair enough. Right. So 1-0 in this set from Toxic Lotus. It's been an absolute banger game, and I'm out of breath from this. I'm actually out of breath from the amount of turnaround plays and just high level in this game. Another tea break, guys, because my voice is going. Alright, awkward pause. I could literally edit this out, but I feel like you guys would like the awkwardness. Right. This time around, a lot more defensives from Toxic Lotus, which isn't going to really play into their hands here. Rival will like the control side of things. I mean, they're going to get pinched down like crazy. Engine really needs to like try and make a runaway play here. Okay, so OU goes for the gadget here. I guess that's kind of their escape as well if they get that gadget connected. So Engine's going to try and go onto Carl, and there's just no way he's going to get the kill there, especially since Carl built up his supers. Yeah, the start is very important for Toxic Lotus to just get that little bit of an edge before Rival build up supers, especially Gene super, Mr. P super. So Engine's going to try and close the gap here, and then when he closes the gap, he will pop his invis so he can farm some of his super. Doesn't really work out there, and Memeshi hits the pull as well, and my dog is barking, which is absolutely perfect. But this is a good gadget from OU. IC gets out of there in time, but the good thing is about Toxic Lotus comp is that they've got a Hank here. They can suffocate them into spawn, and Rival are already into spawn here, so it's looking good for Toxic Lotus still. They need like a Kaze super or just something that gives them a bit of space, but they will have another Meeple gadget pretty soon. Tok's going to get one big hit onto Terry here. Don't know whether he has enough juice in him. Okay, does get taken down there. Another Tune Pull as well. They've got one last attack to try and do something. A Hypercharge, Mr. P Super. I don't know whether they're going to be able to win this. Toxic Lotus. Memeshi does miss pull, but yeah, there's not enough. Rival have just been pinching him down like crazy. OU's going to try and get some kills. He does actually get one kill, and he does manage to win this set. The famous SpenLC jinx right there. Wow. Okay, I don't even have time to debrief that. That was insane. I feel like I need to rewind that quickly, guys. 20 seconds left. That was chaotic. Let's rewind it once and see what really went down here. So, to be fair, they only need 4 stars, so they just needed to kill Icy here. But then Engine dies, and you're like, well, surely they've not got enough. But OU with the gadget. Tok's going to go in here and just barely gets the kill, and so does OU as well. Wow, they just perfectly managed to clutch up that game. That was ice. That was ice. Okay, now we are diving into the final set right here. We're diving into the final set, and this is an absolute banger. This is an absolute banger. I thought just seen a link to the pin there, guys. I nearly went crazy. Right. By the way, there's a pin that's coming out, which has been out a few times during the event, but then the pin, like the link expires after like 15 minutes. It's crazy, so I'm trying to snipe one. Anyways, we see the Miko pick again from Toxic Lotus. I think the Miko pick, I know it definitely won them a set versus Tribe. I don't know whether it was the deciding set, but it was, I saw some Heist. Miko is very good. Engine jumps in once here. I really need to learn how to play a good Miko. I mean, Miko's skillful because of how bad he is in the meta. When Miko's good, especially in Showdown, it's not actually that skillful, but here it's definitely skillful. You can see here, Tok's going to get the finishing kill here, and Engine's going to try and work towards his Hypercharge. That's going to be the kill. So I actually like Miko in Bells Rock a lot. Super underrated in this map in particular. We've seen New Heights Gaming. They went Miko and Kit, and it actually worked out really well. They literally went Kit first pick as well. So Engine's going to... I think the good thing about Miko is if you can get a slow off on someone and then it's like a high damage brawler. What New Heights Gaming did, they just jumped in, slowed, and then Kit could like two-shot the person, which was actually really good strategy. So that's what I'm noticing with a lot of these teams in the China region, is that they have really good strategies. Okay, so Miko's going to go in on Rico, which is fair enough. I think he's not going to get the kill there because of Terry's gadget choice. Really well played from him. But now all the pressure is coming in from Toxic Lotus. Hypercharge, Byron's not going to all do too much. The thing I like about Engine is that he's keeping his pressure. Even though he's getting like pinched like crazy, he's still keeping his presence. He's keeping up. That was a really good kill from Tok. If I was playing Miko, I think I'll just fall back too much, but you need to keep your pressure even when the pinches are coming in. And that's going to be beautiful from Toxic Lotus. Now they are one game away from reverse sweeping, which is insane. But this is just the team synergy that Toxic Lotus have. I actually think they have insane team synergy because, again, that Engine was going up, right? And he was getting pinched by the Kaze and the Rico, but he just stayed there. He knew his teammates were going to back him up. In ranked, you can't really bank on your teammates backing you up when you're making that type of aggressive play. But here you can. So Engine's playing is really clean. Jumping in and out like that is really slick. You love to see it. So on zero ping, it's a little bit easier to do, but I just like small plays like that. With Miko, you never want to over commit. You want to like get one shot, dash out, try and get your super. But here again, he's like a really good time to jump out there against the Kaze. Always expecting the Kaze to be invisible, which is what you got to do, guys. You've got to always expect that they could be invisible at any time, especially when it's a click of a button. With Leon, that's kind of a strategy to counter him, right? It's like expect he probably has super, and you kind of got to group up and make sure that you're not getting picked apart. But with Kaze and Kit, you definitely have to just presume they're invis. All right, first kill going the side of Toxic Lotus, looking good from them. The Byron heals onto Rico. This could be a clutch moment for Terry. He's got a gadget to use, but he's got no use to use them, no walls to use them against. Sorry. Bro, I've been speaking non-stop for 25 minutes. My brain's gone. All right, that's going to be the first round going to Toxic Lotus. Looking good for them. Full reverse sweep in order. And that's what we love to see. Even though I really want Rival to do well, I'm definitely a Toxic Lotus fan. We want to see them go far. All right, so Hypercharge. Oh no, I thought Hypercharge was already onto Rico, but supers are there. I'm kind of waiting for the play from Kaze here. I don't think Kaze's really done anything in this matchup. I mean, not saying they should because like they're all grouped up, but I think I'm waiting for like a Kaze play in the last seconds or whatever to really make something happen. So this is just knockout here. They're just waiting back and forth. Tok's going to get really weak here, which I think Rivals sense blood here. So Engine's going to go weak as well. He's trying his best, but everyone's now weak from Toxic Lotus. Rival are going to go in here. IC gets the kill onto OU. Tok gets the trade out. Engine's going to get a slow. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Byron's going to get one hit onto Gray, and that's going to be the Hypercharge. Mameshi clutching up in the end. Really well played from him. I kind of like what he did there. So normally a Gray uses what is it called? Oh, what's the power called? I forgot. It's the one that tanks a lot of damage when you're full health. I forgot what it's called. It's like the band-aid one. But yeah, so what he was trying to do there was rip apart Tok's shield, and then his Hypercharge super would get more damage. So it was a really good discipline play from Mameshi. There's small things that kind of count, but I think that kind of discipline is what makes you such a good player, because me, I would have just... Actually, I don't know whether I just panic, but you know what I mean? In the moment, you probably would just panic and throw your Hypercharge out there, and that's the small things that count. All right. So now Toxic Lotus are grouped up this time around. Engine's not really going to make any pressure plays here. Probably doesn't want to feed any Kaze super. He's got a super of his own, which he wants to be using as late as possible into the round, because that's going to guarantee a kill onto the Byron or onto the Rico. So Engine now is going to use super. The gas is closing in. He's going to go for Mameshi right here. This should be the kill, but the Byron super might actually keep him alive. Okay, he does get the kill, but he's going to get traded out. And I don't know how the Jae Young died there, but now it's going to be match point. And hardly anyone got to see this, guys. Like, if it wasn't without the Toxic Lotus guys uploading this, how would we have been able to see this? Like, big shout out to them. We missed out on one of the best games of the year. Crazy. All right. So this time around, who is going to win, guys? Who is going to win this decider? I feel like Toxic Lotus were a bit too defensive that last set. They probably realized that. So now we're going to go on the offensive here. They're a bit too defensive. I just think they were kind of waiting for the opponents to make the move, which isn't always the best way. You've got to be a bit proactive in pro play. Okay, this time around, Toxic Lotus is really going to aggro here. That is a really good gadget from Tok, but the heals and the gadget coming in from Terry. It's going to keep him alive pretty easily. This Rico matchup isn't exactly anything exciting for Rico. If I was playing Rico here, I'd be like, it's alright, but I'm going to struggle to get a lot of damage onto Miko because he's jumping over time. You know, Gray can pull me through the wall like this. And you've also got a Miko that can jump on me. So he's doing as well as he can here. But as the gas closes in, I feel like Toxic Lotus have this better composition. Oops. Closes in. You can see Mameshi doesn't really got a lot of damage onto the Grey there with super because of star power. Engine's going to get the pinch with OU. Now it's just Engine and OU versus Terry in the middle. And just about they managed to clutch things up. Bro, I'm telling you, Engine is the best Miko I've ever seen. The way that he plays it, he rarely makes any mistakes. It just feels like every play is with purpose, and he just gets behind. Like, I don't know. My Miko does not do this. I look completely lost when I play Miko. He makes Miko look really skillful. Maybe Miko's more skillful than we give him credit for. So now, one game away from a reverse sweep for Toxic Lotus. We would love to see that. We would love to see that. For the people that haven't watched, I don't want to spoil it, but it's what people would have wanted to see. All right, now the pressure coming in from Toxic Lotus here. They know they're wanting to be aggressive. Kaze's just because it can be good in knockout. Oh, that's a beautiful pull from Tok. The gadget super combination gets the kill onto Rico. Rico proving that he's just too squishy, and that's why Rival's composition is a bit like Byron and Rico, two squishy brawlers. It's risky to go those two brawlers. I mean, Cars is just not getting any value because they're all grouping up. They're all grouping up, and she just can't go in. OU with the really good super in, and now it's just IC left. He's going to get the super on, but Engine's chasing him down, and that's going to be the game going to Toxic Lotus in the end. So reverse sweep from Toxic Lotus. As I said, we missed out on the best game of the year on broadcast or even being able to spectate, but really, really well played there from both teams. And that means Toxic Lotus, they're going to be facing off against... who is the team that they're facing off against again? I think I would have put in my predictions. But anyways, they're going to be playing later today. But that was an insane game. It really was. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more competitive content, check out my stream. Check out my second channel. But yeah, absolute banger. Love to see it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to check out OU and the Toxic Lotus guys in the description. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.